Good morning, Buffaloes. Welcome to your second virtual English class. All right, before we begin with the new topic, I hope that everybody is still home safe, that you guys understood the rules and expectations that I have for this virtual method that we are working with, and that you guys completed all the work if you haven't. We had plenty of time. You guys have been on vacation, and even before then, for you guys to have completed page 8, 9, and pages on the workbook, the word list that I mentioned, and the writing exercises. Okay? Either way, if you haven't, you have all of this week to complete all of this work. Okay? By next week, we'll start evaluations. Evaluations, like I said before, they're going to be on Fridays. So next Friday, I will be evaluating you guys on some of the information from Volcano Chasers and from some of the information that we'll be learning today. Okay? Like I mentioned before, it is very important for you to take notes. So please always have your notebooks ready. All right. Today is Tuesday, April 28th, 2020. So before we begin our class, our new topic, we're going to do a little prayer. Okay? It's not a religious thing, it's more about gratitude and giving thanks for the things that we have. All right? Dear Lord, thank you for everything that you provide me every day. Thank you for my family. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my health. And thank you for the opportunity to learn something new every day. Amen. All right, guys. So, today's class, the topic, like you guys can see, or the title in the book in Guide 1B, which is what we're going to be starting on page 10 and 11, it says Amazing Escape. What comes to your mind when you think of Amazing Escape? There are many different types of situations that could make us feel stuck in something. For example, if we drive and we get stuck in the mud, that's a sticky situation. Or if we are in the middle of a test and we need to go to the bathroom desperately, that's a sticky situation. Or if we are out and about in an adventure, like in the reading in the text that you're going to read in page 10, where he's exploring, it looks like, I'm not sure what the picture is about. It looks like he's exploring caves or mountain climbing, and it seems like he gets into some kind of situation. Okay, so the first exercise you guys are going to do beginning the lesson is you're going to write a small text of one paragraph describing a sticky situation or a tough situation that you got into and what happened. Okay, it doesn't have to be too detailed, just try to be direct to the point. Now, in this module, we're also speaking, or we're going to use vocabulary related to injuries and body parts and things or situations that could happen when we are stuck, or where we fall, when we get hurt. Okay? So in the text, you're going to write of a time that something happened to you and you got hurt and what happened. So I'll give you guys an example, a personal example. When I was little and I was learning how to ride a bicycle, I got stuck with a rock and I fell. And when I fell off the bicycle, I gashed my arm and it hurt very much. So, like you guys can see, I'm explaining a situation and what happened, what type of injury I had. So, I want you guys to write your personal experience and tell me in your notebooks something that happened to you and how you got injured. All right? Before we continue with structures and grammar, like I said, we're going to do a little bit of pronunciation. This is not part, I don't believe it's part of your word list, but we're going to do some pronunciation. These are types of injuries which you have already seen or relearned about in the starter module. There were several exercises that we learned some of these terms, okay? So, let's pronounce together. They're on the top of the book, okay? So pronounce with me. Twist or sprain your ankle. Go to the hospital. Faint with exhaustion. Faint with exhaustion. See a doctor. See a doctor. Dehydration. Dehydration. Slam a door. Slam a door. Be very painful. Be very painful. Badly gash your leg. Badly gash your leg. Have stitches. Have stitches. Slip and break your arm. Slip and break your arm. Put on a cast. Put on a cast. Bang your head. Put ice on it. Put ice on it. So these are different types of expressions or situations or injuries that we can get when we fall, when we hit a door by accident. Okay? There are many others, but we can use these as the most common ones. Okay? Now we can use these expressions with different body parts to express the type of injury in a different location of the body. All right? So, in your text, remember to include both an experience of a sticky situation combined with a type of injury that you got or you obtained because of this situation. Now, in this module, we're also going to learn past perfect and past perfect progressive. Past perfect and past perfect progressive are used to express actions that happened before an action in the past. I know it sounds confusing. I will give you guys examples in Spanish so that you guys relate it, and then I will explain to you the grammatical structures. But don't overthink the topic. You need to understand how it works, and we're going to relate it to the topic in the text and the reading, which you guys need to find some examples of past perfect and past perfect progressive within the text so that you guys can relate a little bit better. But do not overstress the topic, okay? So let's begin with the past perfect. The past perfect expresses an action that happened before another action in the past. And in this structure, we're going to be using the verb had as an auxiliary. Okay? So if we look at the board, we have the structures here for the past perfect. The structures in affirmation are subject plus had plus the past participle of the verb plus the complement. So in this case, we're going to use the same sentence in every form of the structure so that you guys get a better understanding. Okay? All right. So the first example in affirmation is she had read the book. In Spanish, this translates to ella había leído el libro. All right? Something that happened in the past within a past action. All right, so now the structure in negation is the same thing, always using the auxiliary had, but now we're going to add not to the structure. So in this case, we're going to say the same sentence is going to be she hadn't read the book. Ella no había leído el libro. Now we have the same type of methodology that we have with other structures when it comes to interrogation. We're going to apply it in this case. So we use first the auxiliary had, then the subject, then the past participle of the verb, then the complement. So in this case, had she read the book with a question mark at the end? Había ella leído el libro. All right? So, like you guys can see, and like I told you before, you can review the structures as much as you need to. It's not important to know the order of the structures, it's important to know how to apply them. So, as we learn verbs and we extend our vocabulary, we are going to be using these type of structures, but it depends on the situation. We're not always going to use them, okay? In this case of this man, in the story, he's telling a story that happened before. So that's why we're learning about these structures, all right? All right, so now we're going to talk about the past perfect progressive. Excuse me. We use the past perfect progressive for an action that had been happening for a period of time in the past. So it's the same type of structure as past perfect, but in this case, we're not using the past participle. In this case, we're going to be using the auxiliary been as well, and we're going to put the verb in ing form. All right? So, I know that when I give you guys the examples in Spanish, you might understand it a little bit better because it sounds a little confusing. But here we go. In affirmation, in this case of past perfect progressive, it's going to be subject plus had plus the verb in ing plus the complement. She had been reading the book. Ella había estado leyendo el libro. Alright? Now in negation, the same thing as the other structure. We only add not, and in this case, we're changing been, and we're adding been, and we're changing the past participle to the verb plus ing. She had not been reading the book. Ella no había estado leyendo el libro. Now, in interrogation, we have the same type of structure as the other one. We're going to use had at the beginning of the sentence. Then the subject, we're going to use the auxiliary been plus the verb plus ing plus the complement and the question mark at the end. So in this case, had she been reading the book? Had she been reading the book? So let's do another quick example, and then I'm going to explain to you guys your activities. So in this case, we're going to use I had played the piano. So I had played the piano. I hadn't played the piano. Had I played the piano? I had been playing the piano. I hadn't been playing the piano had I been playing the piano. Okay? It's very simple. Like I said, you guys can review it in the back of the book. All right. Now, it's time to apply these simple things. I think the main thing that is going to stump you guys might be vocabulary. So you're going to need your dictionaries to complete these activities. In the writing and speaking activity, after you guys complete the reading and activity 3, in which you have to use the words in the check these words box to complete the sentences, you're going to do a series of questions. You're going to pretend that you are a news reporter and that you want to ask this man about his experience. So you're going to create questions based on the prompt of the question. Okay? And um, we're going to socialize these questions. Like I said, do not stress about the work. We are all adapting to this new modality. So just remember to also do these activities in your student book and to do your word list. Now we have 1 minute left, about 1 minute left, and we're going to review the pronunciation of our word bank or our word list. In this case now, we are in Module 1B. Remember that you can watch this video as many times as you need to. So if you need to repeat the video 1, 2, or 3 times to get the pronunciation, you're more than welcome to. Alright? So let's begin. 1B. Ache. Ache. Administer first aid. Administer first aid. Grash your leg. Grash your leg. Bang your head. Bang your head. Be missing. Be missing. Blunt penknife. Blunt penknife. Boulder. Boulder. Canyon. Canyon. Canyon wall. Canyon wall. Chip away. Climbing gear. Crack. Dehydration. Delirious. Desperate struggle. Disabled athlete. Disaster struck. Exhaustion. Experienced. Faint with exhaustion and dehydration. First aid kit. Get free. Live life to the fullest. Loved ones. Motivational speaker. Notify authorities. Prosthetic arm. Remote. Rescue crew. Sacrifice. Slam door on your finger. Slip and break your arm. Struggle. Trap. Troubled teenager. Twist or sprain your ankle. Alright guys, remember to do your activities in the student book, pages 10 and 11, alright? And your writing activity. We will socialize this next time that we meet live on Zoom. I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. It's a pleasure to see you guys again, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.